Now, what I'm going to talk about at this juncture is the resistance to even doing the 12 steps. First of all, what are the 12 steps? The 12 steps is a very systematic way to build a recovery program. They were steps that Bill W. and Dr. Bob and all of the early founders of AA put together as a formula to begin to put their lives together again. And that is what I was talking about in the video with your sponsor. There are groups, there are meetings that address this. There's a lot of support to do the 12 steps. One of the things that I'm going to do as a follow-up to this is I'm going to do a sequence on each of the steps just to help people get through the resistance. But this video is just to deal with the part of you that doesn't want to engage in that process. It's actually a process that can offer you a complete overhaul. If you go through the steps, and you don't have to just do them once, you can do them over and over and over again. In fact, until you really commit to recovery, the first 3 steps are the steps that really need to be resolved over and over and over again. So the tapping on those will be of assistance, because you do have to admit that your life is unmanageable and that you're powerless over your addictive acting out. Now, Lenny Garrett has done some nice work with the 7 steps to sobriety model, and her difference is that she deals with the powerlessness over the acting out, but she really supports the empowerment that you get from dealing with what she calls the third voice. I'm going to stick right with the 12 steps, at least for this video. But there are other options. If you really have an aversion to the 12 steps, there are other options. But all of them offer you the ability to redo your life. To admit that what you're doing addictively isn't working. That you have to give birth to and power to, and empowerment is a better word for it, to a healthy self. And that healthy self is connected to a power greater than self. Lenny calls it the third voice. I call it the higher self. I call it the illuminated adult self. In 12-step meetings, you'll hear the term higher power. A lot of people call it God. But there is a place where you have to feel like there's some bigger reason that you're doing this. Somewhere in recovery, you have to own that aspect of self, that vibrational frequency of a power that's greater than your human self, who is tempted. That soul self who can make higher choices. So in this video, we're going to just talk about embracing either a 12-step program or 7-step program or something that walks you into a process of health. So let's deal with the resistance, and then we'll deal with the empowerment of it. Even though I have a real aversion to dealing with any 12-step model, I really do want to heal. So even though I have that aversion, I am willing to accept myself just the way I am, and to move in a direction that enables me to get well. So even though the 12-step model is a real challenge for me to embrace, I want to accept myself for who I am. But I also want to neutralize my resistance so that I can move forward and embark on this journey that will lead me to health. Okay, we covered a lot of area in that. So now let's neutralize it. Let's go through the negative and move you into a willingness to embrace a new model of living. I don't want to do these steps. It really seems like a lot of work. I don't want to do it. I'm bored with it. Too much time. I don't want to go through all that past. I don't want to admit I'm powerless. Even though I was pretty powerless when I was drunk. I was pretty powerless when I was high. I certainly feel powerless when I'm focused on my loved one and I get nothing done. I'm powerless when I eat too much food, when I gamble, when I just work and work and work. Maybe the 12 steps would give me a structure that my addict needs to move forward. I don't know. It's a big commitment. I'm not sure I'm willing to jump on. But maybe there's something in that process that could assist me in getting well. Maybe I'm willing to try a different structure. A structure that would support me in getting well. Maybe I can do this. Maybe with the help of a sponsor, I'm willing to move ahead, to work with it. Maybe I can use this structure to establish a different life. All I have to do is work through them once so that I understand how the process works. That seems easy enough. That seems like something I could do. I'm willing to give it a try. One step at a time. Just work through each step with the support of my sponsor, my mentor, someone who can direct me so I can understand what the process is. Go to a meeting that deals with each step so that I can understand what's available as a tool for me to heal. I'm willing to do this now. I'm willing to give it a try. Thank you, thank you, thank you.